People that arrived here were actually British archaeologists that looking for what? Looking for treasures.
Yeah.
Those were the years that they found the pyramids in Egypt, and people were looking for treasures, the lost treasures of King Solomon. But it didn't take them long to understand that what we have over here is on a much, much wider scale. And since then, for the last 150 more actually years, people have studied the city of David. The only problem is that over the years, people build on top of it. And most of the research need to consider the fact that there are first people living above it, and the second part we need to understand that everything is very, very political. When people come to make the study, they want to make to prove their point of view, and therefore in the first years for the study over here, for example, when this place were controlled by the Ottoman Empire and later on by the Jordanian, only research that was very, very pro-Palestinian took place over here. Okay, what do you mean pro-Palestinian research? Research that was not talking about the glorified city of David. They tried to say, those stories of the Jews, we talked about it in the museum, no such things. And then later on come other research said, yes, definitely, everything that's written in the Bible we can prove over here. And there's still clashing and debates between people. I can tell you, for example, that many people believe that this is not where the city of David used to be. Some people claim that the city of David was actually under the Temple Mount. Other people can prove it over here. No doubt that the evidence of things that we see over here are from biblical times. How can we prove it that those are indeed biblical times from the time of the first temple? How can we prove it? For example, over here we found a piece with ancient Hebrew writing. This ancient Hebrew writing was actually used before the destruction of the temple. Okay, and we can see a name that we are familiar with the from the prophet Jeremiah. Okay, and Hezekiah the king sent Joachel the son of Shalmaniah, etc., etc. So we can read about those people, and all of a sudden we found over here in several places, not only here, all around, we can find evidence, pieces with names that we are familiar from the Bible. Okay, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's correspondent with the text, and if we can correspond it from the text, we can say, okay, it's help us to have better understanding. It's not that simple, because people may claim that it comes from a different location and was washed over here, but the fact is it's here. One of the findings that really changed the way that people look over it was the big structure over here. Now, I already told you, in archaeology, we found only the foundation of buildings. Why? Everything on the level will be destroyed. Okay, when people destroy the city, when there is an earthquake, when the city is burned down, everything that is above ground level will be washed away. Only the foundation will be found. So over here, they found the foundation of a very, very big building. Okay, and the researcher, the archaeologist that was digging over here, she said such a big structure, and she dated it to the time that is the 10th century BC, or maybe the 11th century BCE, and she said this is such a big structure, must be the palace of the king. Okay, and therefore this is the palace of King David. Okay, some other people say maybe it's not the palace, maybe it's the retaining wall on which the palace stood. Okay, there were never, we didn't find over here the name David. Welcome to King David Palace was not found. But in the research, they can estimate. Now, when we're looking at the different walls over here, for the average person, it's very, very hard to tell the difference between one stone to the other, to understand how old the stones are. What I want to do, if we can, is to walk a little bit. We'll find a place in the shade, and we'll do some Bible reading to see what sort of events would take place in King David Palace. Okay? Can we walk?
Yeah.
Yeah.